Alright, so I'm out working on the Cutlass again today. We got the lower control arm off. All in all, it took about 4 hours. Ran into some snags along the way. Um, and I'll explain that here in a second. So I got my control arm down here. You can see it's still got the spring on it. Spring's disengaged. The coil spring compressor tool is still on there, but the spring it's out of its seat. This is all one unit here. So yeah, what I had to do was I had to take out the pivot bolts, which are right here and here, and I had to separate the ball joint from the spindle up here. And so the ball joint comes with a castle nut and a cotter pin that goes through here, and my cotter pin was all rusted out, and I was trying to figure out a way to get that cotter pin off, and asked my neighbor. He came over with like a cat's paw and just wedged it out of there with the cat's paw. It just took him about 30 seconds, whereas I worked on it with a pair of pliers and stuff and just messed around with it for like probably an hour. The other snag that I came across was these pivot bolts are really tough to get out because there's a lot of tension on the control arm itself. So I had to the first one came out not that bad. I just used a center punch and a hammer, and I just got it out sideways. And then the second one, I had to use an impact wrench on to kind of get it off, and then I marred up the threads a little bit, but I can either fix that or get a new bolt. And in order to get at that with an impact wrench, I had to kind of get a bunch of stuff out of the way, including the tie rods on this side. So I took off the tie rod that connects here and up there by the steering linkage. And then I had to also, one more thing is I had to disconnect the sway bar linkage. And the sway bar linkage connects from the sway bar to the lower control arm. And yeah, so you can see I've got the coil spring compressor tool in there. I put a little chain on the bottom just to make doubly sure that that coil spring doesn't pop out and injure me or kill me, because that's something that's always an issue. Safety first is always important. So you're never getting underneath your car with just the support of a jack, and you're never messing around with things that could injure or kill you, because safety first always. So yeah, basically I'm gonna get the other side where I need to get at for the engine mounts is up in there. You can see the bolts in there and all the holes and stuff, so I have a clear shot right at the engine mounts, because that lower control arm's out of the way. So work on the other side and get some more of this suspension off, and I'll give you another update soon.